Hello.
Well, hey there.
It's Friends and Neighbors time. We're here, Kelly and I, and we're not going to do host and co-host today because we're friends and friends.
Let's do friends.
Yeah, we're just going to
We need to catch up on air.
Yes, because, let's see, when was the last time I saw you?
You said something about 20th anniversary.
With Kim Gravel.
Yes, that was so
Wasn't
long.
that a good show? Sandra, you,
Yep.
Kim,
Yep.
and I, and we kind of
Yep.
caught up, but you know, life's been busy. Kelly, and I want to say I do apologize for us not seeing each other.
And I want to say the same.
Because you know I love you.
More than anything,
and I love the boys,
you,
you know that.
Right, right.
And Lumpy. Love
I know.
Lump.
Lumpy is easy to love.
How is old Lump? What's he doing?
Lumpy is less than 6 months away from retirement.
Oh, no. Kelly,
Yes.
you're kidding.
He's done.
Really?
Yeah, he's only got 6 more months to go. He did make captain.
Awesome.
Yep.
He had just done that, I think.
He had just
at
the
show, at the 20th
yes.
show.
So we were very proud of that, but he's done. He will be 50 next week, or excuse me,
Oh, wow.
Saturday. He'll be 50 Saturday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, and he's done. I mean, you know, when you are a firefighter in a busy county, like
Right.
Cobb County, I mean, there's over 1 million people in Cobb
He's
County.
in Cobb. That's where my son-in-law,
They
Chris
work together.
Bolick,
Yeah,
is.
Chris. Yeah. And you know, you hit that certain age, you know your season is done.
Yeah.
You're done now. If you want to have any kind of life after,
Right.
you need to. 50's a good. That's a good round
yeah.
number. He's still hot.
Yeah.
He's still in shape.
Hey, really?
He's still got big old muscles.
Is he still doing his martial arts? or
He
karate
is
thing?
not doing martial arts like he did. He had some skin cancer come up, and we had to take care of that and all that stuff. But he still's a CrossFitter.
Really?
You know? Yeah, and that's a whole different kind of people.
Yeah,
I
that
did that
is.
for about 2 weeks, and I said, y'all have fun with that.
Yeah.
I'm turning my
I'm
liver
out.
over
I'm
on
out.
a daily basis. Yeah, girl, no.
Well, okay. Well, then how is Mr. Clayton that I love?
Clayton is absolutely fabulous, and I can't take any credit for it. It is absolutely 100% God.
Really?
100.
He's what, 17?
He can't. Yes, he'll be 18 in a few months. He can't decide if he wants to be a Baptist preacher or go into sniper school. I said, well, you can do both. Let's do both. So I love it. I know. Hey, well, you know, that's what he's talking about. But he's wonderful. Got his first girlfriend, and it's very sweet.
Yeah.
And it's very not like when I was dating. You know.
It's
and
different now.
It's so different now.
different. Yeah,
it's so
absolutely.
different now. And her daddy is very happy that they have to social distance.
Really?
So yeah, that's a great excuse, girl. Yeah. He's like, I love.
Hey,
this
we
social
will do that all the time.
wear a mask
Yeah.
and social distance with
yeah.
my daughter.
Yeah.
And he does it. Yes, sir.
All
he
right,
does it.
that's good.
He's a good person.
Yeah, I
17,
knew he would be.
He is so compassionate and so empathetic and sympathetic and cares about people, and he's a testament to me. I mean, I look at him and I'm like, gosh, I need to be more like that.
Really?
Because I'm getting kind of ornery. I told you, my give a darn done give out.
Give out.
And I struggle to.
You know
hold
what
it all
it is?
in.
You know what it is? I get aggravated.
I
now.
girl like that.
Oh, I get so aggravated. I just want to say, what are you talking about? You know better. You blah, 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 you know? And I have to really, and I still do it sometimes. I'm sorry to say, I still get so aggravated, but I try to hold back, and I try to do better, and I try to say nice words and smile. You know, and
Yes.
and go on and try to just go on through the day. But I do get aggravated now.
I get
and
very.
I can't help
yes.
it.
No.
I cannot help it.
That's why I keep estradiol in my purse,
Yes,
and when I
yes.
get up, I'll just chew one.
Yeah.
Chew
I
it,
keep
chew it.
my patch, my
Yeah, you
estrogen
got your
patch.
patch.
I've
But
had
that
that
is
patch
real.
for 25. My estrogen estradiol patch. I've done it for nearly 30 years.
Well,
And I will continue until they close the lid on me because I don't want to kill anybody.
No.
Okay.
no, I don't want to be homicidal.
Yeah, I
No.
don't want to get into murdering and all that. I'm trying to be good. My husband gets a little irritated with me because I'm irritated with him.
That means
so
y'all
we
in
get in a
love.
cycle. You know, a lot of prayer.
That
A lot
just
of prayer.
Means, well, it means
Yeah.
you're still in love when you get aggravated with each other.
And I do love him, Kelly.
I know.
I know.
I know.
I've been with Roy we've nearly 30 years now, and I love him just as much today,
Isn't
or
that
more, than if that's possible, to love him more. But you know, he nearly died on me twice in April. It was April, and not the virus. He had he got E. coli, which went into Shiga toxin, which went into HUD, which went into total kidney failure, which went into bleeding out, and kidney infection, bladder infection,
40.
total isolation for 24 days. And it really did affect him. He and I both. It affected both of us because that was, I never knew if he was coming home.
That's a dark place.
That's a hard place. And I thank God for all the prayers because, and especially here at the station, because I would call in and say, please pray for Roy. And I would tell Greg, our producer. And you know what? Prayer changes things. And I
Everything.
thank God for godly Christian people that will pray for you and lift you up in prayer. But enough of my story. What about Bradley?
Well, Bradley is going to the Burnt Mountain Center now. It's a transition. He graduated this year.
Did he
Graduated
really?
high school, and he transitioned into, it's almost like an adult, I don't want to say daycare, but
Yeah.
it is. I mean, it is what it is. It's
Yeah.
an adult daycare for mentally handicapped people, and he enjoys that. He gets himself up in the mornings, which he never did for school.
Really?
He gets ready. He's ready to go. I pack his little lunch, and he tells me he's going to work at the Burnt Mountain Center on their computers. And boy, does he work on their computers.
Does he?
I've been told several times, we can't get our computer to come back on. And, you know, sorry, I can't help you, because he's way smarter than I am.
Yeah, but he, you know, to be autistic or mentally challenged in that spectrum or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
he is so smart in
Very
some
smart.
areas.
Very smart in a lot of ways.
And you know what? That has to be encouraging for mothers that have autistic children, that their child has that ability. Because my grandson, one of my grandsons, is in that spectrum. But smart, oh my gosh, he's so smart in so many ways.
And I want to tell you this. Get your tissue ready.
Oh no, I got it right
But
here.
I
Here it is.
never, ever, ever saw him anything but mentally handicapped
Yeah.
until you read Welcome to Holland on air.
Oh yeah.
And it completely changed my life. And that was a seed you sowed into me
Oh,
so
Kelly.
long ago that, you know, sometimes we go through life and we do things and we don't even realize that we just sowed into somebody's life.
Right. I didn't know.
But, you know, it's good to know when you can look back that many years ago and I can look at you and tell you that did. And Bradley benefited from that because I
Awesome.
became a better mother and did a total new outlook on it and got out of, it's easy to fall into a pit
Yeah.
and have a pity party.
Right.
It's so easy. But it's, when you fall in there, it's so hard to claw your way out of it.
Amen. I've been there.
Yeah, and to have a kid, when somebody looks at you and your baby's messed up, your kid that you gave birth to is messed up,
Yeah.
that is hard to get over, and it's hard to live with.
Yeah.
And you see it every day, and you're reminded of it every day, and he has issues and challenges, and it's a different, he lives in Holland.
Yes.
He lives there.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful. And girl, I'm sorry I just spit on you, but I ain't got the wrong one. But anyway, he lives there.
Yeah.
And I have learned to love it there. And it's beautiful there.
Well, you know, if no one has ever read that,
Welcome to Holland.
Holland,
Pearl
read it.
Kingsley.
Yeah, it's,
That's who wrote it. I'll never
oh.
forget it. It changed my life.
yeah, that woman had a vision, or
That
or
woman
God
had a
gave
special needs
that.
kid.
Yeah, she had something that we all needed to hear.
I did.
And you know, and we had a lot of stuff, people talking about that on, you know, calling in the station about that Welcome to Holland, because buddy, it said a mouthful, and it was so enlightening, and
It
even
is.
to me. And she said, "No, I'm supposed to go to Holland." I think she wasn't even going to go to Holland, but see, God had different plans.
Yes, He
and
does.
that's what you have to realize in our lives, that God has a different plan. For I know, you know my scripture, the plans
Jeremiah
I
29:11.
have.
Yep.
I know the plans I have for you. And it's not what you wanted a lot of times.
Yeah, a lot
Especially
of times.
Christian people. Haven't you found that out? That most Christian people, you know, I see secular people, oh, I worked hard and I'm a Academy Award winning actress. Oh, I worked so hard and I'm an Olympian now and I'm this. But, you know, and because that was my dream and I made it with a lot of hard work. But with Christians, it's like, well, that's what I wanted to do. But that's not what God wanted me to do. God had a different plan altogether for me, and He's walked with me through this whole thing, this whole journey that I've been on. And thank God that He does, because I would have messed it up, man, if it had been what I wanted.
I couldn't have made it. The love of the Lord, and I'm, you know how crude I am, but the love of the Lord goes to the bone.
Yes.
It goes all the way to the bone, to the marrow. Nothing will get you out of that except that.
That's right.
Nothing, because it's so easy to fall in. So,
and so easy, you know, like we were talking earlier on another show about failing, and you fail, and I've failed miserably so many times, and you think, I can't get up. You know, I'm so embarrassed. And Lord, I fail you. I fail my family and everything. And you can waller in it. And you, like you said, you have to claw your way, pray your way. You have to get up, pull your big girls up, and get it back on and go.
Girl.
Yeah. That's what it is. That's what it is. And because if you got enough scripture in you, you know that somewhere that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, that's going to come, that's going to help me, that's going to get me through it. But hey, I want to talk a minute about your next interview. It's with the dog?
Yeah, you could say dog lady. I love being called the dog lady. And where I live, there's a dog lady and a cat lady, and I ain't the cat lady. I'm the dog lady.
Either.
But
I like dogs.
hey, listen now, I will save a cat. So far, Because We Care, that's who I'm with. We have,
Say that again.
Because instead of because.
Because.
Play on words. Yes, Because We Care.
Yeah.
And what we do is, when COVID hit, our shelter shut down. So we started receiving the phone calls. So in a span of 60 days, we had rescued and rehomed over 273 kittens.
Wow.
Nearly 300 kittens and cats.
Good grief.
And the puppies started coming, and there was over nearly 100 puppies that we rescued.
Oh, Kelly.
So I mean, it was all hands working.
Why was
it was
that?
all we could do.
Why was that so much?
Because the shelter was closed and there was nowhere for them to go.
Oh, God.
And so we had to partner up and reach out. And I'm telling you, rescue folks need to stick together. Like Christian folk need to stick together.
Yeah.
Rescue folks gotta stick together.
Well, this dog lady of Mexico, is
How
who
cool.
you're going to do like a Skype interview with
This
her.
ought to be good.
So, and I know that you and she will have a lot to speak about, a lot of encouragement for you people that want to help also. So when we come back from this break, it'll be Kelly doing her talk with the dog lady of Mexico. So stay with us. You don't want to miss that, especially if you love your pets. Amen? Amen.
Hey, welcome back to Friends and Neighbors. I have a great interview today. Thank you, producer Greg. I'm so excited, something near and dear to my heart, which is animal rescue. Whether it be a dog, a cat, a goat, a pig, a chicken, doesn't matter, I'll save it. And I bet you my kindred spirit sister, Alison Sawyer, will do the same. Alison, welcome to Friends and Neighbors. I'm so happy to talk to you.
Oh, I'm so pleased to be here. Thank you for having me.
I want to go right into what you do because, you know, we have so much time, and I want you to tell me what you do, where you do it, and how you got to do it. How about that?
Oh, I love to talk dog. It's my favorite thing to do.
Me too.
Yeah. So we moved to Mexico about 20 years ago. And I'm a potter. I had no intention of rescuing dogs, none whatsoever. And but the dog situation was just so awful that I had to do something about it. And it just took off from there. I mean, I haven't been I've been doing rescue ever since, and it took over my life, it took over my home, it took over everything. And I'm not the least bit sorry about it. We've saved so many animals, and we do a lot of spaying and neutering, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
So I read that you, and correct me if I'm wrong, you went over there on vacation, on holiday, whatever, and you saw a need. How did you even know that this was a problem there? Because we can stay in our backyard and save 500,000 dogs. I mean, I can,
Yes.
I do.
Uh-huh. Well, we had been going a few times every year, and I helped some local girls do animal rescue there.
Wow.
And got into it that way. But it wasn't until we bought some land and built a house there that I could really see how sad the animal situation was. And there were puppies crawling out of the bushes. There was no spay and neuter. There was nothing. People were in a bad position. They had nowhere to go to get their animals spayed and neutered. So their dogs would have puppies. The puppies would be weaned, and then they'd put them in a box and take them to an empty lot. And then they'd start crawling out, and people would start bringing me puppies, and pretty soon I'd end up with the whole litter. And all I wanted to do was save them.
So
That's all I want.
tell me what kind of disease that you go through, because I know here in rural Georgia, heartworm disease is unbelievable. It's $6 a month to treat, but it's $1,500 a month to cure. And, you know, lots of them, the strays, they definitely, more likely than not, they're going to have heartworm disease. Puppies are full of worms. Parvo is in the ground. Tell me all about the disease and stuff that you're finding with the dogs over in Mexico.
Well, the two diseases that we have that are the worst diseases are the Parvo and Distemper. We have a lot of distemper. I think it's completely eradicated in the United States. Is that right?
Well,
Yeah.
not completely, but it is so rare. I haven't seen it at all, and I've been really rescuing, like really hardcore, for about 2.5, maybe 3 years, and I haven't seen any distemper.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a big problem for us. So one of the things we do is we've done free vaccination campaigns. So that's really helped. Of course, all the puppies, all the dogs have worms, and I don't know how they survive. I really don't. These little puppies and these horrible worms. And then some years are worse for heartworm than others. This last year has been really bad for heartworm. And as you say, you know, it's easy to prevent, but it's caused by mosquitoes, and we have a lot of mosquitoes. And so we can treat it. We can treat it because we have our own vet. He works for us, and because we can get medicine cheaper than in the United States, it doesn't cost us as much. It costs us about $90 to treat a dog with heartworm.
So you do have a support system that's in Mexico with you, like there's no shelter or anything like that? Are you like the lone woman over there?
We are the shelter.
Oh my gosh.
I started it off at my house, and at one point, much to my poor husband's chagrin, we had 65 dogs. So at my house, which is on a half an acre of property. And then finally, it got to be too much for our house, and the government gave us a piece of just a building, a small building to work in, and we can have up to 40 dogs in there at a time if some of them are puppies. So we keep them, so that really helps. And I've been through a ton of veterinarians, and veterinarians are like everything else in the world. There's good ones and there's bad ones. And right now I am so lucky. I have the best veterinarian just on the planet. He's so wonderful, and I trust him completely, and he's done so many wonderful things with us.
So what does it, I mean, you live partially in the States and then partially in Mexico. How often do you go back and forth? What does that look like for you?
I've been living mainly in Mexico.
Okay.
So I'm there most of the year, and I was actually born in Canada. So in the summers when it gets just horribly hot in Mexico, I go up and visit my family in Canada. And but now I'm in Colorado because my kids can't get into Canada because of the virus. So I'm here with my kids.
So what's the end game for your dog? So what does it look like when you rescue one? You bring it in, you treat, you vet, you spay, you neuter, you vaccinate, and you get them adoptable, or are most of the dogs, are they feral? Are they pretty tame, or you have to work with them? What does that look like?
Well, when we moved there were feral dogs. There were feral dogs at the beach, and they used to. So every once in a while, they'd get together in a herd and they'd attack a tourist or they'd bite somebody. And then way back then, they'd get picked up, and it wasn't, put down usually. But we trapped. We had a couple of big dog traps, and we trapped all of them really, and spayed and neutered them, and then let them go. So there is no longer wild dogs there. And there were a lot of street dogs when we arrived, and now there are far less street dogs. People are letting their animals into their homes because we give out free tick and flea meds. I mean, they don't want the dogs in their house because they're covered with ticks and fleas.
That's
It's so bad down there. So we clean them up and give them free tick and flea meds and spay and neuter them. And all of a sudden, the families want to keep them in their homes. So it's the best thing on the planet. It's so wonderful.
How in the world are you getting your funding? Because that's hard.
Well, we're all donation. The first 10 years, my husband and I paid for ourselves, much to my children's dislike.
There goes the inheritance. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. So
you can't say no because you can't afford it. You just can't.
Well,
it's terrible.
It's not just that too. You can't sleep at night when you say no. I mean,
right.
I have found myself, I have to turn my phone off because it did start to interfere with family time, and I do have, a disabled child that I have to take care of, and I have, of course, my other child that I have to take care of, and I have a husband, and I do want to keep them most of the time. So, it becomes overwhelming. And sister to sister, how do you overcome and cope with the sadness of it?
Oh, isn't it horrible sometimes? Most of the time I try to keep to the good parts and remember the good parts when you have sad parts. I mean, it sounds really horrible. I don't know whether I should say this, but if something happened to a dog and it was a miserable, sad, neglected, unwanted street dog and it didn't make it, I would just tell myself, well, now, you're going to get me teary now. I don't have to worry about him living in Mexico anymore. He's out of his misery. So that's part of it too. And we also send our dogs out to be adopted in the United States and Canada. There's so many tourists in the area. They'll come in and they walk the dogs at our clinic. It's wonderful. And they will fall in love with one of the dogs or one of the puppies and take it home.
So how do you transport? Is it very hard to get it across across the border into the States?
Well, I have, it's not as hard as you think. And it all depends on your airline. And we know all the ins and outs. I have an incredible volunteer named Anna, and she knows everything. So somebody says, I want to take this dog home, and Anna goes, okay, let's go. What are we going to do next?
Right.
And she'll get everything working for them. And it costs so much to adopt a dog from a rescue these days that sometimes it's cheaper for somebody to drive back down and get the dog on a different airline that takes animals. There's all sorts of ways.
Do you vet the people that want to adopt a dog from you, or how does that work with your rescue?
Oh yeah, you have.
Yeah, I vet people more than I do my dogs.
I know. We're absolutely terrible. You don't get one of our dogs unless you're going to be the most perfect dog owner. We have on our website, we have an adoption form. And if they're on the island, we do what most rescues do. We go to their home and we talk to them and see if we think it's going to work. And if they're going out of the country to a home, we usually have met them because they're tourists and they've come to the island. So we try to we all get in on it and try to get a good feel for them. And if it's right, we can feel it,
Yeah.
we can feel it.
I have
So-
about 27,000 more questions for you, but only time for 2. So I wanted to ask you this, because I'm just so curious, because this year, for some reason, we were inundated with kitten and puppy season. Kitten and puppy season killed us this year. And I think Be Paws We Care is the name of the organization that I'm with. And I think we did, if my numbers are correct, but again, I've slept since then, it was nearly 200 kittens and nearly 100 puppies in just 60 days. Do you guys have a kitten and puppy season as well?
Oh yeah, it's been unbelievable. I mean, I can't tell you how many kittens or puppies and kittens we've had since January. It's just been enormous. And it's been very hard for us during the virus because we don't have tourists coming down, so it's hard to get them out. So we're pretty full right now, and there's nothing sadder than seeing a puppy grow up in a rescue. You know, you really want to get the puppy into a family. The same with the kitten. So that's been very difficult.
Okay, so I'm kind of competitive. I want to know how many personal dogs you have.
Well, you know, I usually have 3. I take all the sick dogs and the old dogs. So I tend to go through them quickly. I just lost my last dog. He was incontinent. And of course, you can't find a home for an incontinent dog, or it's really hard. So I had him for 2 years and loved him to death. And he just passed. So at the moment, for the first time since I've been about 10, I am dogless,
Oh my
which
gosh.
is just horrible.
Well, then I beat you. I have 5. We're going to put your website on the screen, Alison. Let's keep in touch because we have to stick together and see if we can help each other in the future. Thank you for what you do, and God bless all your efforts.
Oh,
Thank
thank you.
you.
And people can read about it in my book called The Dog Lady of Mexico.
Fabulous. Thank you so much for being on Friends and Neighbors, and we'll connect soon.
Okay, I'd love that.